com. It is the 9th of August 2020. With Shabazz Ahmed, Khalid Akhtar and myself, Khalid Akhtar, I present Stories of the Week. It's Sunday morning, it's 10:30. Good morning, Shabazz.
Good morning. You sure it's morning or afternoon?
I've been up since 4, so
Right,
that's why,
okay.
it's probably why I'm thinking it's afternoon.
Good morning. Now, you're looking very fresh. How you doing, Aris?
Good. Had a good week. Got some new trainers.
Excellent.
Had football. What have you been up to?
Hold on. Did you say you got some new trainers?
Yes, I
Wow.
have.
And who bought you those? Your mum or your dad?
My dad.
Oh, nice. Nice. Do you want to share what you've got?
Had some Nike 270s.
Tell you what, your dad's earning too much money, I think.
Do you know what? He's really getting spoiled, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
You know what? I've got a present for him today as well.
Go on then.
You know, shall we do it now?
Let's go.
Yeah, I might as well. He's going on holiday next week.
Right.
So I bought him something for his holiday.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please.
If I could get it out of my pocket.
Right, okay.
Oh, here you are. You could open it live here.
Live on Facebook. So we've got what looks like
thank you.
It looks like an Amazon envelope. And what is it, Aris?
I think it's actually a wolf's mask.
Is it?
Oh, wow.
So,
Do you
yeah,
wanna-
because Wales is, where are you going? Cornwall, aren't you?
No, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, it's the same place really, isn't it? Just across the road. You
Thank
could
you.
wear this, and if you show the people, listeners, it's a wolf's mask. It says wolves, and it's got the sign, and it should fit your face. Yeah, there you have
There
it.
you go. So we'll have Aris modelling that later on in the show.
Yeah, so he's on holiday
Well,
next week,
Thank you for that.
but we have a replacement, I think, next week.
We
haven't
have, yes. Well, we haven't reached out to him yet, so he doesn't know.
Not yet.
Not yet, anyway. But hopefully, a good friend of mine, Manavard Hussain from Birmingham, will be joining us next week, and he's going to be giving you an update around what's happening around Birmingham from a news perspective, charity perspective. Very eloquent guy, so I'm sure you'll enjoy his words next week.
Okay, looking forward to that. Again, it is the 9th of August. We're going to do and share the news from last week up to today. And the first story I've got is new life-saving test to transform the war on coronavirus. 19 minutes checks will be rolled out for the NHS next week and then used to routinely screen Britons with no symptoms. 2 new coronavirus tests will be offered to millions for Britons from next week. The tests, which give results in 90 minutes, will be the first introduced to the NHS.
So does it say how these tests will be carried out, or are they voluntary? Do we have to turn up?
No, I
Car
think
park
it'll
or-
be obviously if you got symptoms.
Right.
But at least you get the results in
Straight away.
90 minutes.
That's good.
It's about
Fast.
time. It's about time.
And that's what we need, don't we? Not
It is.
wait 24 hours and spread it.
No, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And a lot of people are spreading it. Preston now are gone down in lockdown.
Well, yeah. So obviously we've discussed last week that the northern part of England, so your likes of Bradford, Rochdale, Oldham, they've all gone back into phase 1 lockdown, I believe. And now, yeah, Preston. So it's slowly making its way up north. I'm actually going to the Lake District in a couple of weeks, so I'm hoping it actually stops at Preston because I really don't want my holiday to get cancelled. So, but no. So how's your week been as overall, Khalid? Productive
It's
week?
been a busy week. It's been fairly hot as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, weather can't make its mind up, can it? Yesterday was baking hot, and today it's a bit chilly today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of mix and match, but yeah, not a bad week. Again, we start it all over again tomorrow. You know, back to work, back to reality, back to paying bills.
Back to paying, we're back to washing your hands. But talking about washing your hands,
Yeah.
segueing nicely into a little story. But there's a nice story coming out of Pakistan. So a little boy called Little Dayub, his handmade soaps reward you with a toy for washing your hands. So with coronavirus still around and children stuck at home and not much little to do, Little Dayub from Lahore has found the perfect way to encourage his followers to practice hygiene. So Soaptastic is the name of his company. Is 11-year-old's home venture where he makes the antibacterial soaps to motivate children to keep washing their hands. And each organic soap comes with an interesting gift in the middle. So the more you wash your hands, the faster you get to the toy. A good little
Also,
idea.
a little toy in there. It's good for kids, isn't it?
That's, yeah, so he's putting little toys in these soap bars, and he's encouraging toys to wash their encouraging children to wash their hands. I think it's a good little concept.
I think that'd be good for adults as well. I was going to say put an adult toy in there, but no.
Good, yeah. Okay, let's rewind.
Put some money in the house.
Put a sweet in there.
Put a sweet in there, or even a £5 note, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be expensive soap bar, then,
It would,
wouldn't
yeah,
it?
it would, yeah.
Well, don't forget the competition is on today, and the question today is, what was the first word revealed of the Holy Quran? Just the first word that was revealed.
Amazing. And you know what, Shabazz?
Go on.
The competition ends today.
Oh my word!
We're going to give the winner away today.
So this is probably the longest competition going in history.
Maybe.
So do you want to remind the listeners what they're likely to win today?
It's right. Watching Facebook or YouTube, you could see a hamper box of Indus packets of various contents. Absolutely amazing.
Now, anyone who's ever bought pistachios or almonds knows exactly how much this type of stuff costs. So it's worth quite a few bob.
It is a lot of money. So if you want to call us today, your name will be put in twice.
Okay.
So you've got two chances to win it. But if you text us, just that one chance of winning the prize today. And the telephone number, 01902 972 150. And you can text on what number?
Yeah, the number to text is 07440 420 432.
Amazing stuff. And I was going to say thank you to Alvina as well for turning up this morning. She you know what, she's a soldier.
I tell you what. At what time does she get here? 9:30, I think.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock she
Wow.
starts. And, you know, she sits there and she battles away.
Trying
Trying to sell some stuff. And we're still waiting for these toys off you, Shabazz.
I've
I mean, now it's really taking the mickey now.
I'll put them to one side. I just need to bring him in. In fact, I'll tell you what. I'm going to pledge this today live on air.
Yeah.
I've got some Paw Patrol and some of the scooters.
Yeah.
Really, really good condition. And a children's slide that I'm going to bring in and donate to the show. How about that? Free of charge, yeah.
And we'll leave it to Alvina to give you away to a good home.
That's it. I'll bring them in next week. I'll bring the
Okay.
2 scooters in absolutely next
You've
week.
heard that, Alvina, you know, and obviously you could look back on Facebook or YouTube Live if you want to
Well, look,
listen to the show afterwards.
They're going to a good cause, aren't they, hopefully?
Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. Well done.
No problem. There you
I
go.
like that.
No pressure.
A bakery worker 60 is sacked after 44 years working for the same company. Why? Because she accepted cash from elderly customers without bank cards during the pandemic, as 10,000 people joined fight to get her job back. So, Megan Metcalf, 60, was sacked for accepting cash payments from customers. She worked in a Bird's bakery chain in Radcliffe-on-Trent in Nottingham for 44 years. The bakery chain is only taking contactless and card payments during the pandemic. Miss Metcalf took £180 cash from the elderly customers and paid it with her own card.
That's terrible.
So she gets sacked for doing some good deed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there needs to be a little bit of empathy from Birds there, that bakery, because a lot of elderly people get cash from their pension. They'll go to the post office and collect cash. They don't use contactless cards.
They don't know
so
how to use it,
Yeah,
or
it's,
they haven't got it.
It's not a nice story. It's not a
No,
nice story.
nice, but I thought the world should know this
Yeah,
morning.
for all that long that she's been working there, I don't think she
44
got
years.
fired for
Wow.
that.
44 years.
Wow, 44 years.
That's my age and your age put together.
Probably, yeah. Well, more. That's more. Yeah, okay.
Shabazz, play the game. Play the game.
Well, I've got another one here. Nando's sorry as customers find deep fried moth in his takeaway meal.
Ew.
That is gross. Nando's regrets any distress this event caused after a cheeky deep fried moth was not on the menu. The crispy critter has his chips and it was fried to perfect crunch. A chicken fan got creepy surprising his cheeky Nando's order. Pictures show the crispy critter at the bottom of the chip box fried to the perfect crunch along with the potato snacks. The restaurant was forced to apologise and the Nando's spokesperson told the Yorkshire Evening Post that the firm regrets any distress caused. So in his £80 order he got that.
That's
Wow.
disgusting.
I mean, that's really put me off Nando's.
Yeah.
It's put me off now, but I don't think I'll stop going because it is one of my favourite.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Delicious,
I
isn't
mean,
it?
it doesn't happen all the time. That's just maybe a one-off.
But where's this moth come from? You know, and how's it get fried?
I mean, me personally, I probably would have just mistaken it for like a burnt chip and probably would have just eaten
Yeah.
it personally. So
It's amazing how much stuff that we've eaten,
yeah.
insect-wise, and we haven't realised.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
and have no
yeah.
idea.
So talking about Nando's, if you were to go to Nando's, what's the one thing that you're going to order? You know, you can't live without orders. Go on.
Well, I don't go to Nando's that much, and
Okay.
I don't really know what I order.
Go on,
I'll
Khalid.
say,
Go on.
you know what? People are going to cringe when I say this,
Go on.
but I always order livers.
Oh,
Honestly.
dear.
Livers.
Oh my gosh.
Nando's
If you
liver.
haven't tried them, try them. They are absolutely delicious. You know what? I was like you. I hated livers. My mum used to do glidgy and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And I had to force to be eaten, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these livers,
Are they really? Aren't they like really like squidgy and
Slimy.
no,
slimy?
you know what? Just they have a bread roll, butter. Oh my gosh. You
Well-
got to try it.
Well, I'll try those livers, but my go-to thing in Nando's has got to be chicken thighs. I don't know if you've tried their boneless chicken thighs, but they're about the size of your palm, and honestly, those over wings any day. But
And what I don't get is how people have lemon and herb spiciness from Nando's.
hey, my son has lemon and herb.
Talk about
Older people.
talking about chickens. I've got to give you a story. This is true.
Go on.
As you know, I work in a prison,
Yeah.
and the prisoners only get the left-hand side chicken
Well,
leg.
okay.
They never get it right.
Why is that?
Well, prisoners ask me this as well, so I've done a bit of research, and every time a chicken pees, it pees on the left side.
Right. Okay.
So the chicken, the left-hand side
Of the
leg
chicken, yeah.
is cheaper to buy
Is
than
that
the
right?
right-hand side. It's true. It's true.
So what you're saying is when you go to a wedding and you get a tray of chicken, always go for the right.
Right,
hand side.
yeah, pick the right because the left ones, the chicken's peed
See,
on.
this is the type of news we need to be
Hey,
giving
this
out. You know, I tell
You
what.
only hear this on Ramadan Radio Wolves.
Right.
Hey.
Just to segue a little bit on, but it's great news. So how often do you change your underwear, Cal?
Every day.
Of course.
Okay, I'll rephrase that. How often do you buy new underwear? Should I say?
To
Or
be
does, or
honest,
does your wife buy your underwear?
I think, yeah, actually, I did go with my wife last time to buy my underwear.
Okay, it's not a two-man job.
I know when I buy it in bulk,
Okay,
and it's always the same colour.
fine.
It's simple, easy.
So go on. How often? Maybe once every year? Maybe once every 2
No,
years?
no. It's probably I'll probably get gifted underwear more.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, probably twice a year I buy like 15 pack.
Right. So what if I told you that a survey showed that most men only buy new underwears every 5 years? Aris?
Well, I only buy new underwear when mine grows out.
Yeah, so as a man's underpants should really be something of personal preoccupation in his life, as important to him as, say, the car he drives, the football team he cheers on. You would think so, wouldn't you? Actually, the complete opposite appears to be true. So new research shows that most men, in fact, couldn't give two hoots about what undies they hang around in waist each day, as an average British male only invests in new underwear once every 5 years, according to a survey carried out by menswear brand Thomas Cleach. Some even hang on to their tattered pants for more than 20 years. There you go.
Did you know I used to have a vest that I loved? I used to sleep in it. I obviously washed it
Yeah,
every week or one day in a week and wore it
yeah.
as soon as it's come back. And then my missus got rid of it.
No, wait. And was that a 20-year-old vest? Was it?
It was, it was the best vest ever. She destroyed it.
Well, there you
Destroyed
go.
my heart.
Well, you've just named and shamed her live on air with
Yeah.
all the listeners listening. So, Yeah,
Alvina's been in touch.
okay,
Thank you, Shabazz. Greatly appreciated.
no
Your
problem.
pre-loved items will go to a good home.
Yeah, and they're in good condition as well.
Yeah, and she's also said she's with me all the way, liver all the way.
Really,
Also, she loves a 1/4 length chicken with peri-peri chips.
left-hand side or right-hand side?
That's up to Alvina.
Right.
Depends on the taste.
So, how are we doing for this composition, callers? Anyone?
And not yet.
Piping up yet?
No, let's-
Remember, what is the first word revealed of the Holy Quran? Just the first word.
Yeah.
Was this the first word revealed to our prophet, or the first word of the Quran? Because I think are they two different things?
The
I don't
first word revealed of the Holy Quran.
know. Right. Okay.
Yeah. I know the answer.
Okay.
You should know the answer.
I'm not going to say if I know it
Yeah.
or not. You know, give some suspense there.
Shall,
for our
shall I give you a
listeners.
clue?
Go on then.
One of your nieces is named after this.
So here's the dilemma with the question. Now I don't want to confuse our listeners. You see, now was that the first word of the Quran, Bark,
Yeah.
or was that the first word revealed to our prophet? Is it
The Quran.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. We'll
You know what?
We'll debate that in the break, but we'll.
If Hafiz Fiaz is listening, this is a test for Hafiz Fiaz as well.
It
now.
is. It is.
he
It
could
is.
call us in as well.
Yeah, I
and
hope so.
give us a bit of a
Do you think he knows the number?
education. I don't know. He hasn't been on for a while.
Is he on a sabbatical? Is he? Or?
He's missing in action.
Okay.
If you want to give the number, Shabazz,
Yeah, it's the telephone number to give us a call. So if you ask, no pressure. 01902 972 150. You can text us on.
07440 420 432.
what is the first word revealed in the Holy Quran? Okay, Mahatma Gandhi is said to become the first non-white person on the British currency.
Okay.
Mahatma Gandhi will be the first person to feature on the British currency. The Royal Advisory Committee have started work on a coin featuring Gandhi. Rishi Sunak backed the campaign to recognise the efforts of BAME individuals. He wrote to Royal Mint Committee about commemorating BAME community. So that's good news.
Oh, it's very good news, yeah. So at the moment, we've got people like Charles Darwin on the back of our notes. Do you know who Charles Darwin is?
I've heard of him. I don't know what he does.
So he came up with a theory of evolution. Remember, theory of evolution is not
Yeah.
real, because we, as Muslims, believe
Yeah.
that we didn't ascend from animals.
No, obviously.
We've got more TikTok news coming out of the news again, Khalid. So
Yeah.
after warnings and negotiations with the telecom regulator, global short funny video platform TikTok has not only upgraded its community guidelines, but also released its Urdu language version for the first time.
Really?
TikTok in Urdu, Khalid. How does that sound?
Wow.
Yeah, so the upgraded community guidelines provide general guidance on what is and what is not allowed, and a platform to keep TikTok safe for creativity and for joy. The platform is now localized and will work in accordance with local laws and norms, including the introduction of the Urdu language for the very first time. So Pakistan's going to be going crazy now,
Yeah,
aren't they?
well, now they're going to get more people from Pakistan and places like that.
They love TikTok in Pakistan.
Honestly. Do you know, I'm getting loads of messages from my cousins in Pakistan.
Asking you for money or just
Not, well, yes and no. But they always have these black blank screens at the beginning of these messages. And then they fade into some random photograph.
okay.
And I don't get it.
Maybe it's just the done thing in Pakistan. It's maybe a photography trick, maybe, or I don't know.
Do you reckon?
Maybe it's to make
Special
it seem
effects.
more elegant.
Yeah, that's-
Only everyone's doing it. I'm thinking, this is stupid.
maybe.
If someone could educate me, please, because I'm not getting it.
Or maybe you need to get with the program, Cal. This is the youth of today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if someone could educate me, I'd really appreciate that.
We've got Ariz right here. Ariz, what's this thing on TikTok?
I actually have no idea.
Okay.
Maybe it's
No.
just a thing in Pakistan. Not here, though.
No.
Nothing like that here.
David Beckham is in talks with Netflix and Amazon to make a new film about his life after he was inspired by Michael Jordan's The Last Dance.
Okay.
It's going to be about David's life post-football,
Yeah.
especially the creation of his new team in Miami, but we'll have some personal content too. You're a big Beckham fan.
I am, yeah, hated by most, but I absolutely love David Beckham. I'm not ashamed to say that. I think he's not only was he a quality football player, I think he's a role model for the charity work that he does. The fact that he's given a lot back to the footballing community as well, and he had the most majestic right foot I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
Do you love him more than your wife?
no,
That-
of course. If I'm not listening, I don't. I genuinely don't.
I thought just double check that because you said you love him. And
Ryan Giggs, that's probably on. No, better
No.
not.
Talking about sport, Wolverhampton Wanderers in the quarter-finals of the Europa League.
How about that? How many years it's been since?
Since 1970, 48 years
Wow.
ago.
So good for the city.
It
Isn't it?
really amazes me, and it's not going to be easy. It's hard watching them at the moment.
I know.
Yeah.
Very hard.
You could ask my wife what I was like on Tuesday night. I was punching the pillow.
Really?
I was that, honestly, I was that. Oh, and thank you for the donation of your BT Sports
Credentials.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll be using it this week.
No problem. If anyone from BT is listening, I'm probably going to get barred now. But there you go. Things you do for family, eh?
And also, congratulations England for winning the Test series over Pakistan. And Pakistan never ever lets us down, do they, Shabazz?
No, they don't. No, although I think they threw it away. To be fair, I think that second innings from Pakistan, making 100 odd, was quite poor. I think they're relying heavily on Babar Azam at the moment. But no, great innings by Wokes, and fully deserved England.
Do you want to tell young Ari's our story about the World Cup?
Yeah, so myself and Khalid, and this is not just for you, Ara, this is for all the listeners who are listening in. We've had the privilege of going to a World Cup final.
Hmm.
So in 1999, I think, Australia
Australia.
played Pakistan at Lord's. Khalid had a ticket. I didn't have a ticket, so we drove down
The night before.
the night before. We had a really good night in London with some of Khalid's friends, and so then we got to the ground and we started to hunt down these touts for tickets. And because South Africa were in the semi-final, they had a lot of South Africans wanting to sell their tickets.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how much I paid for my ticket, but it was
Ridiculous.
mortgage size, I would say.
Yeah.
But luckily, we managed to get 2 seats. We managed to sit together, so we were sat, in these. Have you seen Lords, the big
Aye.
Yeah.
We were sat just below there. Really, really good seats.
I think they're the best seats in the house.
Best seats in the house. Really looking forward to it now. And I think Pakistan made 100 or something all out. And literally, Australia came in after about 20 overs. They nearly made the score, and we just left. So
We
it was-
walked out
we
and
walked
left.
So the World Cup final, it was just the most horrendous feeling ever. But great day though, wasn't it, Cal? I think.
Yeah, it was a good experience,
yeah.
which I will never ever do again, because I will never ever go to another Pakistan match, because I don't care what you say. I
Well,
think they fix it. They
Oh, I
they are money related players.
Well, I'm 100% with you there. After that game, I also agreed that I was never going to go to a Pakistan live game again. What if I told you, Cal, that was over 20 years ago?
Yeah, was he?
Over 20 years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Crazy, isn't it?
Oh wow,
How time flies, eh?
mad. I watched a Amitabh Bachchan film yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I watched a film called Badla.
Badla, wow.
Badla. You know what? It was really good.
Is it a new new film?
I
Or?
wouldn't say it's new, but it's not old. It's probably 2016, 17.
So Amitabh Bachchan seems to be making more films now than he
Than he
did in his,
did. I
his
know.
youth.
He needs the money, doesn't he?
So go on, quick whistle stop. What was it? What was
It was
about?
it was
And,
about someone getting murdered. It's really good. It starts playing with your mind. Do you think who done it? How they did do it?
So it's like a thriller.
It's really good. If you got an hour and a bit to spare, do watch it.
For 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Did you guys manage to watch Four Lions?
Haven't seen Four
No.
Lions yet, unfortunately. Cool Runnings.
No.
Still
Second
not.
week running, you guys let me down. Second week running.
Busy life, Cal. What can you say? Kids, work.
Anyway.
Preparing for this show is just taking up all my time as well.
Anyway, talking about Amitabh Bachchan, the Bollywood star recovers from COVID-19.
Good,
Last
good.
month, the 77-year-old actor told his millions of Twitter followers that he had tested positive for coronavirus. And on Sunday, he said he had left hospital after testing negative. He thanked his fans for their prayers, as well as staff at Navatri Hospital in Mumbai for their excellent care. So,
I bet he did get good care, didn't he?
of course he did. Probably got
Yeah.
his bum cleaned as well. Why not?
Wouldn't be surprised.
You know what I mean? He's got that much money.
So all their family was affected, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they're
Amitabh
all
Bachchan family.
slowly surviving.
Good. Good news.
Yeah,
Good
it
news.
is good news coming from India.
Well, Elon Musk experts hit back after tech mogul tweets alien conspiracy theory. The Interpreter has tweeted about an unproven theory that aliens built the pyramids in Egypt. Egyptian experts have hit back at Elon Musk after the SpaceX founders tweeted about the conspiracy theories about the aliens that built the pyramids. He then tweeted the Great Pyramids were the tallest structure made by humans for 3,800 years ago. His initial tweet was liked by more than 500,000 people. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Aliens building the pyramids.
Well, being Muslims, we don't believe in aliens,
Yeah.
at all. So
It's a no-go.
It's a
No-go.
no-go. However,
No-go.
talking about the pyramids, absolutely would love to go to Egypt. I've not been.
Yeah.
Have you been, Khalid?
I've been.
Is there anywhere you haven't been?
There is a few places, but I've got another story about the pyramids.
Go on then.
So, the family, we went to the pyramids, and you pay extra to go inside the pyramids.
You can go inside.
Yes,
I
you
didn't-
could go inside.
Okay, I didn't know.
Now, to get inside, you've got to be pretty fit and slim,
Right. Okay.
because it's really... but it takes a bit of hard work, and you eventually go there. You get into the tomb,
Yeah.
and then there's a small man there, and he's got a little, bag. He wants money because
Yeah.
he's standing there. But you know what? You go in there and he smells of pee
What, inside the pyramid?
in the pyramid, and me and smell do not get on. Anyway, I waited for a while, and I asked the tour guide, "What's this smell?" He goes, "Well, when the tourists aren't here, that man, he pees in the court because he can't keep on going in and out. So yeah,
So you were there thinking it was probably the pee from some pharaohs or something.
pharaohs, but no, it's that man's
actually-
pee.
Did you give him any money?
No. Once I pay for
So would you?
a service, I've already paid for it. Why should I pay more?
So would you recommend it to our listeners?
Definitely,
Go to,
guaranteed go there. The worst thing is, before I got there, I said to the wife, let's get loads of bottles of water, because we're going in the desert,
Yeah.
And when we got there, from the pyramids, you could see KFC and McDonald's.
Can you really?
Honestly, it's right opposite. You could see KFC and McDonald's right next to the city,
So they've
because the
built
city has come right towards
the pyramids. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
It is a shame, but yeah, if you do go, that's the only dark side of it, really.
Well, just put your back to the city and just look towards the desert, then you'll kind of get that view, won't you? I
The
guess.
other view
Yeah.
will be better, yes. Anyway, time for a break. See you a bit soon. Welcome back to the second part of Stories of the Week with Cal, Shabazz and Aris. We're going to go straight into around the world in 80 seconds or so.
We are indeed. So just a number of countries to cover off today for our listeners. So we're going to start off in the motherland of Pakistan. So the government on Friday allowed international flight operations in Pakistan to fully resume at all airports, a day after it announced a lifting of several coronavirus restrictions in light of reducing cases and deaths. So really good news. The notice issued by the Civil Aviation Authority said that operations will resume from August the 9th midnight. The government of Pakistan is pleased to allow all international passenger operations to and from all airports available pre-COVID-19. Unfortunately, PIA, the national airline, remains banned from operating to numerous countries, including the USA and parts of Western Europe, following discrepancies in some pilots' licenses. So flights are resuming to Pakistan, just not PIA.
Did you hear about that flight from Dubai to India?
Yes, I think it was a Air India flight, I believe. Really
went
sad
down.
news.
Yeah, went down. Yeah, that was a flight that bringing people back to India.
Nationals back to India. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard I believe it skidded off the runway and fell down an embankment and split into two. I'm not too sure how many. There have been deaths, not too sure how many, but our thoughts and prayers go out with all on board, of course. But moving into India, India hits 2 million coronavirus cases as health workers take strike action. As India hit another grim milestone in the coronavirus pandemic on Friday, crossing 2 million cases and more than 41,000 deaths, community health volunteers went on strike, complaining that they were ill-equipped to respond to the wave of infections in rural areas. Even as India has maintained comparatively low mortality rates, the disease trajectory varies widely across the country, with the burden shifting from cities to relatively robust health systems in rural areas where sources are scarce and non-existent. The Health Ministry reported 62,000 cases and in a 24-hour period on Friday, raising the nation's total to over 2 million. Also, there were 886 deaths on that day, giving the total deaths to 41,000. So, people going on strike in hospitals in India. So, not good news for people who need help.
Yeah. It is sad, third world country. And I think all the rich countries should get together and help the third world countries with this COVID.
I think this is more down to the fact that the government aren't providing the necessary PPE equipment to the healthcare professionals. So, our thoughts go out to them. Going to move into Lebanon now. So, not good news coming out of Lebanon. I'm sure you heard about the devastating bomb blast.
That bomb. I felt it sitting at home.
Yeah, well, I got some WhatsApp videos about 2 or 3 hours after it occurred, and he sent shivers down my spine, Khalid. I mean, honestly, Beirut is supposed to be such a beautiful city as well. Absolutely devastated it is. But Lebanon mourned on Thursday as victims of the most powerful blast to hit the country that had already been struck by the economic crisis. That is the coronavirus, as rescuers searched for those missing since the explosion flattened Beirut port and devastated the city. French President Emmanuel Macron making the first visit by a foreign leader since Tuesday's blast, which killed at least 145 people and injuring 5,000, arrived in Beirut on Thursday along with specialist rescue personnel and equipment. Dozens are still missing, and up to 250,000 people were left without homes fit to live in after the shockwaves smashed buildings, sucked furniture into the streets and shattered windows several miles inland. So, horrible news coming from Lebanon.
I know, really sad. It was felt in like other countries like Egypt and stuff. So
Cyprus, 200 miles away. That's how
it was felt
powerful that bomb was.
Well, some of the people who were filming the initial flames, they seemed miles away, didn't they? And then all of a sudden their windows get smashed. Yeah, it was horrible.
There was a video of this bride having her wedding shoot, and the cameraman was like filming, and then behind it just all exploded.
Did it?
It was very sad.
No, our thoughts absolutely go out to all the victims in Beirut today. So moving across into Japan, so bells tolled in Hiroshima on Thursday for the 75th anniversary of the world's first atomic bombing, with ceremonies downsized due to the coronavirus, and the city's mayor urging nations to reject selfish nationalism and unite to fight all threats. So the Hiroshima bomb, I'm sure you've heard of that, Aris and Khalid. So thousands usually packed the Peace Park in the centre of Japanese city to pray, sing and offer prayers. The city said the significance of the anniversary of the bombing that killed 140,000 people before the end of the 1945 war had prompted its decision to hold the ceremony despite the spread of the coronavirus. but taking strict precautions. So, yeah, Japan commemorating those who lost their lives at the Hiroshima bombing. Final two countries, if I will, Carl. So moving across into Germany. Germany is planning to ban floodlights from dusk much of the year as part of a bid to fight dramatic decline in insect populations. It emerged on Wednesday. So in a draft law, the country's Environment Ministry has drawn up a number of new measures to protect insects, ranging from particularly outlawing spotlights and increasing protection of natural habitats. Insects play an important role in the ecosystem, but in Germany their numbers have been diversely decreasing and severely declining in recent years. The changes put forward in the law include stricter controls on both lighting and the use of insecticides. Can't say that word. So Germany is going into darkness basically at the night. So
How, if you'd play football there at night, how would it get lit up?
that's a good point.
X-ray eyes.
X-ray eyes, yeah. I'm sure places like that will allow to operate
Yeah.
because they're a football place. We're moving across into France. Just our final story into France then. Almost 3,000 people were evacuated on Tuesday night, some by boat, from homes and camping sites near Marseille in the southern France as a forest fires tore through 1,000 hectares, that's 2,500 acres of vegetation. About 1,800 firefighters battled blazes fanned by strong winds overnight, and 14 sustained light injuries, officials have said. No civilians have been hurt. The occupants of an old people's home and locals, as well as tourists from France and abroad, had to be rescued as flames devoured the blue coast. So not good news coming out of the south of France.
It's bad news all over the world at the
Yeah, I
moment.
know.
It is, yeah. So I think those are the most pointed stories that we needed to cover off this week. But
whilst we're international, Saudi Arabia, the Hajj coronavirus curbs mean no work, no salary, nothing. This applies for workers in Saudi and the agents here in the UK. How are they going to survive?
I know.
It's a lot of money people are losing, their livelihoods as well, especially in Saudi Arabia and obviously on Alam Rock Road, Sparkbrook, and a lot of people not going to Umrah or Hajj.
But you'd think that, what I thought the UK government did by giving these grants to vulnerable people, I thought that was fantastic. I'd like to think people like Saudi Arabia would do the same, given how rich they are.
Yeah.
Whether they will or not is yet to be
I
seen.
doubt that very much. But yeah, it's loads of people suffering because of coronavirus.
You know, I bet a lot of those people are actually non-Saudis as well. There probably are a lot of Pakistani people, Indian people who go out to work there. They're probably suffering the most.
Yeah. So we're waiting a phone call from Fiaz.
I've got Fiaz asked me to repeat the question. So the question today is, what is the first word revealed of the Holy Quran?
What is
the first word? What is the first word revealed of the Holy Quran?
And behind the scenes, me and Shabazz are having a bit of a argy-bargy, aren't we?
We've been having a debate about this because we know what the answer is, but let's see if our listeners know this and if you can help around this. So, was the first word revealed to our prophet also the first word in the Quran? So there's a question.
Well, Rani's texting. She's to me. She's got the question right.
Okay.
She goes, you can't see Shabazz's face today as the telephone number goes across the screen. He should sit next to Ari's.
That's probably a benefit to our listeners that you can't see my face.
And she's also said, loving today's stories. Guys, you are very entertaining.
Excellent. That's
Well,
good to
thank
hear.
you. And from Ajaz Ali, that his kids love Cool Running, so I'll
there you
have to
go.
watch that.
You know, I'm telling you, Ajaz Saab, where did you watch it? Can you get us a copy? Because these guys really, really need to, step up a bit and get it. I've got a call coming in. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Wa barakatuhu. It's the main man.
Assalamu alaikum, Fiaz.
Wa assalam wa rahmatullah. I just want to say well done to Kyle, Shabazz and Aris. I've been watching your show, as you know, every week. And you're all doing a brilliant job, mashallah. So keep
Thank
up
you very
the good
much.
work.
Thank you very much.
You've been missing in action, Fiaz. Every Saturday I've been tuning in and I've been getting a repeat show. What's happening? Holiday?
So, initially I had a week off because I had some family commitments. But last night I was lined up for my show. But when you're doing a charity show, when your guests fall out, it's a bit unfortunate that, last minute you can't get cover. You can't get anyone else. I did make a few phone calls around, but unfortunately, I didn't have any guests. So I asked Uncle to just do a repeat. I'm sure my repeat is good enough.
Oh, well, obviously, it's better than all the shows put together, your repeats.
So Fiaz,
Well, it's better than nothing, at least.
You could just come on yourself and just do knots for 2 hours. I think that
we'd help you. We'd
yeah.
play the drums at the background.
enough. So we need your help,
Well, maybe
Fiaz.
we can give that a try next time.
Yeah, we needed an expert on our show today because Shabazz is confused. I'm not. Aris isn't. So if you could help us out, Shabazz, ask the question.
Right, so the question that has been asked on the show today is what were the first
What is the
words
first word revealed?
revealed of the Quran? Now, I was debating with Khalid that is the first word revealed to our Prophet also the first word revealed in the Quran? I don't think it is, but Cal and Ari seem to think it is. So we're hoping you can shed some light on this.
Okay, so what makes you think that it's not the first word?
Because the first word, I mean, I'm going to give this away. We're going to think of another question now because this is causing a debate here, right? But I think the first word in the Quran, the first word revealed to our Prophet was Iqra, which means read. Right?
Yeah.
But was that the first word that's actually in the Quran? I don't know. I need you to help me.
Yeah. So if there's different views on this, but if we're talking about the word that was revealed, then yes, Iqra is the correct word. So Iqra Bismi Rabbika Allazi Khalaq, which is the first 6 ayahs of that surah, and the surah is called Iqra as well.
Okay.
So those are the six verses of that surah were the first ones to be revealed, and they are the first words of the Quran to be revealed.
I'm going to get back into my hole now. I think I'll stand corrected. Right, okay, so that's news to me.
Yeah, if you look at it from a different angle, there was many times when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down Hazrat Jibreel, and he then obviously communicated with our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, not all forms of communication were revelations as the Quran.
Which is where that's kind of where my head was at. You see, I thought that the first word was Iqra. That was just to almost prompt our Prophet, not necessarily the first word in the Quran Park. But I stand corrected. I wasn't aware of that surah. If I'm honest with you, I'd need to brush up, obviously. But
because he asked him 3 times,
yeah.
he said Iqra, and our Prophet said you can't read. And he said it again, didn't he? That's, you know what I mean? I'm going places here.
So the translation goes like, read in the name of your Lord. So Hazrat Jibreel first says, read. And then he says, well, I cannot read because our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't, he didn't go through the normal education system that we go through.
Yeah.
Everything was, he was taught from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly. So the following verses then follow up, read in the name of your Lord who taught mankind what you know not, and so on, who created you from a clot of blood, and so on. So the first 6 verses are the ones that were revealed.
And Fiaz, those verses are absolutely in the Quran Park, right?
Yeah, they are in the Quran Park, yes, and very powerful verses. And just for your information, that was the first time when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw Hazrat Jibreel in full form. And, the description that's given, I wouldn't want to go into detail now, but the description that's given just on Hazrat Jibreel, the angel that came down, is enormous. I mean, maybe you can cover that in one of your stories if you wanted to.
No, we would love to.
We'll have to bring you back on to the stories of the week.
I tell you what, Fiaz, would you be willing to come on to the show maybe next week to give us a quick 5-minute sort of breakdown of the description of the angel Jibreel, maybe? I don't know. Carl, how does that work?
That sounds good to me.
Well, I'd love to join your show next week. I'll speak to you guys off air and we'll organise something definitely.
Excellent.
And just before you go, Fiaz, can you say that first chapter of the Quran in your vocals, please?
Yeah, of course I can. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Those are 6 verses revealed, and if you boys have seen the message as well, in there you'll see the story that's shown when the revelation came down. I'm sure you've all seen it, and it just brings you back to that point. But alhamdulillah, well done for all the work, guys, and Aris, well done to putting together the quiz.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've not been able to participate because I'm part of the team and I'm part of the family. So
We'll keep listening,
both
Fiaz.
ways, I guess.
Keep listening because we're going to find out who the winner is today.
So, Fiaz, the new question, because obviously Shabazz has given it away.
We had to get some clarity there,
The
didn't we?
new question now is, how old was our Prophet at the time of his first marriage? That's a new question. Obviously, you know the answer. Please don't share it with the world. But
Oh,
I think, thank you very much. And
No.
inshallah, we'll listen to your
Jazakallah.
show on Saturday.
Jazakallah, Fiaz. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
definitely. Jazakallah khair. Take care.
See ya.
Khuda Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Do you know that guy has got so many hidden talents that we don't know about yet? He's like, I think I'm full of knowledge. That man,
Mashallah.
mashallah,
Mashallah.
so blessed.
Beautifully read as
And
well.
I'm so blessed to be related to him.
I think he went to Saudi Arabia as well with you on your journey to
You know
the
what?
centre of the earth.
The best decision that I ever made was to invite Fiaz. Honestly, I've been to Umrah before, but this experience was different level.
I bet.
He explained everything about Hajj and Umrah. He talks knowledge. He will share with you what you need to know, when you need to know, how you need it to know. And the best thing is, if anybody wants to go to Umrah, Hafiz Fiaz is ready to go with you. He will
Mashallah.
take you,
Mashallah.
he will show you, he will share his knowledge with you. And the best bit, he could do it in Urdu, he could do it in English, and he could do it in Punjabi.
Fantastic.
So what more do you want? And
Fantastic.
10 out of 10. All the lads went, 8 of us went, and 8 of us all said that was the best experience in our lives. And that was thank you to Hafiz Fiaz.
So we've got a new question now with regards to the competition. So how long are we going to have this question going for? Because I'm conscious we need to actually do the draw as well.
I think we're going to do it for the next 10 minutes, and then we're
Yeah.
going to do the draw, and then the prize winner will have to contact us. Unfortunately, no direct family could enter, and to get this prize, you have to come to the studio in daytime hours and pick it up. So, once again, the question is, how old was our Prophet at the time of his first marriage?
Yeah.
01902 972 150, or you could text us 07440 420 432. Medics find Eid celebration bullet in the brain of a 9-year-old Palestinian boy after his parents took him to a hospital complaining he was sleepy. The unnamed boy was conscious when he arrived at the Hadsa Medical Center. Doctors say they discovered blood on his head and a small wound on his scalp. They said the bullet passed through his brain and stopped at the back of his head.
Wow.
Had the bullet gone in another angle, it would have caused much more damage to the brain and left significant neurological damage, he added. The boy is now recovering well and is awake and communicating with medics and family. So you're celebrating Eid by
Putting a bullet
boom,
in your
boom,
head.
boom, boom with bullets.
Yeah, it's unfortunately this is the type of thing that happens in some part of the world. Yeah, we can't relate to that, can we?
No.
Unfortunately.
Well, we'd be arrested if we had a gun on
Yeah.
us.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not a good story. What do you think happened? Do you think they were shooting them up in the air and they fell back
Yeah.
down or something?
I've
or-
seen some videos as well before of people doing that, and
Yeah.
accidentally shooting their friends. Because the
Wow.
bullets bounce
Yeah, they do.
off the wall and come back.
Yeah.
It's terrible, terrible.
Well, in Mexico, a woman takes selfie with a bear on a hiking trail. A black bear approached a group of hikers, then sniffed and nudged one of them, who managed to take a selfie whilst remaining calm. If a bear went anywhere near me, I wouldn't even know what I would do. What would you do if a bear went anywhere near you?
I would run.
I can't say on air because it's something else would happen to me if a bear came to
It
me.
reminds me of a film that was on TV yesterday called The Revenant.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Did you watch it? Well, I caught bits of it and I thought, what a film, and I stopped it because I wanted to watch it from the beginning. But anyway, sorry, Aris, didn't want to.
My wife loved the horse bit.
That's the bit that I caught. Yeah, when he actually got inside of the horse.
Oh, she couldn't believe it. People actually do that.
Yeah, it's survival instinct, isn't it?
Exactly.
Sorry, Iris, didn't
And another one, SOS message left by 3 men leads to rescue Pacific Island. 3 men have been saved after getting stranded on a Pacific island when their boat ran out of fuel in Micronesia. So that's lucky for them how they put an SOS message on the sand and they actually got found.
Oh, did they?
It's also a picture of a helicopter landing on the
Yeah.
sand and rescuing them.
Wow, that's good. That's
So
really good.
that's good
Lucky
for
them,
them.
lucky them. Customer support worker, 22, is given a £120 littering fine after feeding pigeons with crumbs from her Greg vegan sausage roll while sitting in a Manchester Square. Kerry Sven, 22, tore up the last mouthful of her lunch and scattered it for the birds, but she was quickly collared by Piccadilly Gardens enforcement officers. Manchester City Council has defended its zero-tolerance approach to littering, and she got fined £120.
What's wrong with the world?
Just by
Honestly,
feeding birds.
That's
Yeah,
terrible. I throw sort of bread into my garden all the time. I love seeing the birds coming to collect it. I mean, what's wrong with people? Come on, common sense should prevail, shouldn't it? Here,
Definitely.
but and Manchester have turned around and said that they agree with the fine. Is that what they've said?
100% zero tolerance there, 120 quid fine.
Firstly, what was she doing in Manchester Piccadilly Square when she should be at home in lockdown?
I think she was working and she went for a lunch break and
Right.
you're harsh, you are.
I'm on the ball today, aren't I?
In fact, I've got a little thing down here. I thought do this now before the break. This will apply to both of you, I think. So if Aris's dad is listening, this might apply to Aris, but you know, Amara and Ibrahim definitely applies to them. The 12 toys that will be top of children's Christmas list this year, according to Argos. So,
Well, my son's already got a list for his birthday, so
Is
I'm
it?
going to find out how many of these are actually
okay,
on that
so
list.
let me say, I'll just go through it quickly because it doesn't make sense to me.
Go on then.
Designer friend Sienna doll, 25 quid. Fisher Price rolling Rovey, £60. Hatchimals Pixie Crystal Flies, £35.
Yeah, Hatchimals.
Yeah. Kiddie Zoom Studio, £60. Maybe they want to do a radio show or something. Laser Battle Hunter, £60. Lego Adventures with Mario Starter Course, £50. Lego Technic Lamborghini, £350.
Might as well buy a real Lamborghini.
Ibrahim. Little Live Pets Got to Go Flamingo, £33. LOL Surprise, oh my god, Fashion Doll Series, £32. Paw Patrol Dino Rescue Dino Patroller, £65. Pupsy Dancing Unicorn, £50. And the Child Animatronic Edition, £45. Anything?
None of those are actually on the list,
Has he got-
although they've already got Hatchimals. Both of them have, unfortunately. But no, he wanted a Nintendo DS for his birthday. So
He's
he's
going
been
up market. That's an adult.
He got an iPad for his last birthday, Carl.
That's an adult toy.
We're too lenient with our kids. If I would have asked for an iPad for my birthday, I would have
Chapir.
got big time, yeah,
Backhanded Chapir.
big time, yeah. Big time. Just how long have we got until our break, Carl?
Got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So let me just quickly touch on Heinz ketchup hack. So do you like tomato ketchup?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if you look closely at a glass bottle of Heinz ketchup, you'll notice a number 57 above the label, just
Yeah.
below the neck. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Is that
have.
57 years in production?
Well, while this number is often thought to represent various different products by Heinz make, it turns out it's also strategically placed for an important reason. According to the company, the spot is a perfect place to tap on the bottle when you're struggling to get the ketchup out. In the trivia section of their website, they explained to release Heinz tomato ketchup from its glass bottle with extra speed, apply a firm tap to the spot marked 57 on the neck label. So there you go.
I'm going to try that
Is this
tonight.
only on the glass bottles?
Yes, that's right.
No plastic.
Well, you can just squeeze the plastic ones, can't you?
Yeah, okay.
So-
So glass.
Oh, okay. Who gets
I
glass
don't know who gets
ketchup?
glass nowadays.
You can still buy glass.
Really?
Yeah, of course you can. Well, if you go into bars and not that I go into bars and restaurants, but when you go into restaurants, they always have the glass bottle still
Yeah,
there.
sometimes they do, yeah.
So
How do you know?
No,
When was the last time you went to a bar?
no, like a
I'm
restaurant.
at a restaurant.
Uh,
Well, next time you go to Nando's, they have glass bottles there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they probably do, yeah.
We'll try. Singapore is making foreign visitors wear electronic tags to ensure they follow quarantine rules. So, like, if you've just come out of prison, you have to wear a tag. If you fly to Singapore, that's what's going to happen to you. Those given the devices will be allowed to isolate at home instead in a facility. Any attempt to leave the home or tamper with the device will alert authorities. Singapore has so far seen more than 50,000 COVID cases, but just 27 deaths. Very well done, Singapore.
Absolutely, yes. Very well done.
So we got a few seconds. If you just go for the question again, it's the last time to enter this competition.
Yes, because we're
forever.
announcing the winner next part. So the question is, how old was our prophet at the time of his first marriage?
How old was our prophet? Do you know? I think I know the answer, but I don't know the answer. If you know what I mean. I'm guessing.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Do you know the answer?
I'm going to say I don't know the answer, just to give our listeners a chance. But I know the ballpark number of what it is. So yeah, you've got about 4 or 5 minutes to ring in and get that answer in. For 2 entries in the draw, you must call.
Yeah.
Or if you just want one, give us a text.
01902 972 150. And if you want to text, final time for the competition, it's 07440 420 432. We will catch you in around about 4 minutes' time. Welcome back to the third and final part of Stories of the Week. This day in history, August 9th, 2020. Today is the 222nd day of the year, only 164 days left to go. This day in history, in 1655, Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell divides England into 11 districts. In 1898, Rudolf Diesel of Germany obtains patent for his internal combustion engine, later known as a diesel engine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in 1898.
Didn't know that.
In 1910, Alva Fisher patents the electric washing machine. So not too far away, was
No.
in 1910. In 1942, Mahatma Gandhi and 50 others arrested in Mumbai after passing of a Quit India motion and campaign by the All India Congress. And in 1953, this day in history, Premier Mohammed Abdullah of Kashmir got fired.
Okay.
In
Who's
nine-
that? Who's that?
The Premier of Kashmir.
All right, okay. What you just said, you mean? Okay. Listen, Shabazz.
I've got a call coming in, so let's take this call first. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Do you know this word, Shabazz? Do her name? What does the name mean?
Her name is Reed.
Read. Ikra, read. How can I help you, Ikra Khan?
I want to enter the competition.
Okay, please give us your answer.
25.
25.
Should I say if it's correct or not?
I
You
think
know
this,
what?
This is going to be the last caller,
I
isn't
probably is the last call. Is she right or wrong?
Yes, she's right.
Ikra Khan.
Ikra's always right.
Yeah, why is she always right? How,
Yeah.
Wow. Your name is now going into the competition. So keep on listening. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to give the answer away, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ikra.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
your call.
Thank you for your call, Ikra.
Khudafis. Bye. Oh, lovely little girl, you know. The voice of an angel.
I
That's
bet.
what I say. Voice
Yeah.
of an angel. Anyway, let's carry on. In 1965, Singapore separates from the Federation of Malaysia and gains its independence. In 1974, Richard Nixon resigns as President of the United States, and Vice President Gerald Ford swears the oath of office to take place at the 38th US President. In 1979, English seaside resort Brighton gets its first British nude beach. You been there before, Shabazz?
Nope.
This summer?
Nope.
No. In 1984, Daley Thompson of Great Britain scores 8,797 points to win the Olympic decathlon in Los Angeles, later recognised as a world record.
I always remember him on the back of cereal boxes. Oh, I do. Danny Thompson growing up. As you do.
1992, the last day of Test cricket for David Gower. And in 2012, Jamaican sprint superstar Usain Bolt wins at 200 metres at the London Olympics in a record 19.32 seconds to become the first 102 metres double in back-to-back Olympics. And finally, 2013, 8 people are killed and 24 are injured after gunmen opened fire on a Sunni mosque in Quetta, Pakistan. And if you're celebrating your birthday today, in 1757, born Thomas Telford.
Okay.
Do you know him?
I know the school. Of the school.
I think he was named after the school. No, the school was named after him.
Yeah, that's probably right.
He designed and constructed the Menai Bridge in Wales.
Right.
He was born in Dumfriesshire, Scotland. In 1939, Brito, Brazilian football, born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. In 1959, ladies' best man, Michael Kors, he was born, American fashion designer and Project Runway judge, born in Long Island in New York. And in 1961, Amy Stiller, American actress. And one famous person born this day in history, 1963, Whitney Houston, American singer, One Moment in Time from Bodyguard. Sadly, she passed away in 2012.
She did.
1968, Gillian Anderson, actress of The X-Files. I'm sure you used to love The X-Files.
Yeah, X-Files used to be good back in the day.
Yeah, she was born. And two more, Filippo Inzaghi, Italian footballer, 1973. And finally born August the 9th, 1975, Mahesh Babu, Indian actor.
There you go.
This day in history. If you're celebrating your birthday, give us a call, let us know. Shall we put end to this competition
Let's
now?
do it. Let's do it.
So, since
2000.
Ramadan,
Yeah, since Ramadan.
Yeah.
when we've been carried on and we've started the show, every Sunday 10:30 till 12, we've been carrying out a competition. For the first 6 or 7 weeks, we didn't have a prize.
No, we didn't. No, we did have a
We
prize.
did, but we hadn't had it
Yeah.
in our hands. So the last 2 weeks we've had the prize, and the only reason I'm giving the competition away today, I don't want the packets going out of date. So we've had, I wouldn't say thousands, and I wouldn't say hundreds of entries, but we've had
Single
20,
digits.
30.
20, 30s
Yeah.
people. Majority of them have been the same people.
Right. Okay.
So
And
We-
thank you for everyone who has
everyone
entered.
who's entered, thank you very much. You know what? It makes the show, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Their participation makes the show. It makes it interesting for us because we know there's somebody listening to us.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody who doesn't listen, go to them, slap them on their face, and say, "Why aren't you listening to us?" Really, it's a must show. It's the funniest show on Ramadan
It's
Radio.
going to set you up for your week, isn't it?
Exactly. Anyway, we've put everybody in on a table. I think I can't see Ari's at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, if Yusuf was here, Yusuf Malik, he's got a machine that you could put everything in.
Right. Okay.
And-
We're old school though. You know, we're going to do it Desi style, aren't we? So
Yeah.
So
Well,
pick one, Aris.
Okay, so
it's your
I'm not
competition.
looking. I'm gonna.
just for our listeners, while Aris is mixing that together, what we've done is we've written everyone's names down on a piece of paper, scrunched them up into a ball.
Yeah,
no
we've
cheat.
taken away family members.
Yeah, all family members have been removed.
So all my family, all of Aris's family, all of Shabaz's family,
yeah.
thank you for entering, but unfortunately, the rules say that you cannot be into competition. So we've taken majority of the people away.
Yeah.
So let's get a
Okay,
winner.
should I pick one then?
Yep. Dun dun dun. He's picked one. If you're looking on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, he's reading one name out now.
Do you want to know the answer?
The answers, there
I
were
mean,
loads
no,
of
no, no.
answers.
The winner,
Yes, please.
Sister Naseem.
Sister Naseem.
Well done, Sister Naseem.
To be fair on Sister Naseem, she has phoned in every week.
She has.
She has texted in every week.
Congratulations.
So Sister
Congratulations,
Naseem,
fair
thank-
play.
Fair play.
She did deserve it.
She did. Is she listening today though?
Is she,
Sister Naseem, if you're listening today, please can you text in your address and your name, full name, so we could have this prize ready for you and get someone to ring you and organise for you to be collected.
fantastic. So really good news. I'm a little bit sad the competition's ended because it was a nice little segment that
Yeah.
we used to
It,
do.
it was nice, but maybe we could do one for fun.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
maybe you can dip into your pocket and get a prize for us next time round. Maybe, I don't know.
How about you could steal some of your kids' children's toys and
yeah.
you know.
Careful, my kids are watching. But I want to give some top tips, Khalid, from a Tupperware perspective. So, have you ever noticed those plastic Tupperware boxes that you get? If you put something like lasagna or pasta in there, and then you wash them, you can never get them clean. Have you ever
They're
had
still
that experience?
yellowy.
Still yellow and orange, aren't they? So.
Yeah.
You don't do any washing up, so your wife will probably know what I'm talking about here. But a woman has revealed just how easy it is to remove stub and stain marks from your plastic containers. So you're hearing it here on Ramadan Radio, some top tips for you today. We all know the struggle of trying and failing to get rid of our plastic pots and grubby oil stains, and we're probably all guilty of throwing them away when it doesn't budge, but not anymore. Demonstrating the method, Addy says to squirt a small amount of washing up liquid into the dirty container, then add warm water and mix until combined. She then tears off a few pieces of kitchen roll and rips them up into smaller pieces before putting the tissue into the box too and allowing the pieces to soak up the water. Pop the lid on firmly and shake for about 45 to 60 seconds. Tip the contents into the sink, making sure you throw away the kitchen towel in the bin rather than letting it down the drain. And that's it. Your container will look as good as new. So
Well,
there's
that's a
your-
top tip for anyone who washes up and
Anybody who
gets
washes
that.
up, there you go. So that's how you remove all those yellow and orange grubby
You know what?
lasagna
I'm
stains.
going to tell all my co-workers at work
There you go.
because they have all these dirty. You know, you
fairness-
look at him and you think that don't look too good, does he?
But they probably have washed it. That's the sad part of it. They probably have washed it. You just can't get those lasagna stains out. But there you go.
Beware the robot cat burglars. Criminals could use AI devices to ransack homes after sneaking in through locked front doors. So
So cats who are robotic cats.
robot are going through cat flaps.
Yeah.
The robot burglars could enter a house via a small space, just like a cat flap or even a letterbox. Machine could then relay information to humans and even fetch residents' keys. Possibility was raised in a study with UCL researchers in journal Crime Science. So yeah, this is what burglars are getting up to now.
AI is taking over, isn't it? And doesn't surprise me, to be honest, how people are thinking far and wide about, you know.
Cats robbing people's homes.
Yeah, it's not good, is it? Not good.
Well, do you guys order from Amazon?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, woman catches Amazon driver mid-squat doing the loo in her garden. Amazon has sacked a delivery driver after a horrified neighbour caught him doing the toilet in her garden. NHS councillor Sharon Smith, 53 years old, said she was cooking in her kitchen when a van pulled up outside her home. A man ran from the vehicle towards her garden and she followed him, suspecting he could be stealing some wood, but the mom of two caught the man mid-squat defecating on her property among the trees and then promptly called the police.
He must have been really desperate to do that.
Do you know what? Sometimes you do get called short, don't you? You get caught
Caught by the call of nature.
nature, and you got to do what you got to do.
Not in someone's garden,
But
though.
not in a guy. You know, why don't you just knock on the door and say, "Look, I am your delivery driver.
Yeah.
I am desperate for the loo. Can I please use
And then-
your toilet?
then
And
you
here's
have to
my
call
here's
the-
my car keys.
Yeah, yeah. There
Do you know what I
go.
mean?
I think
But-
that makes. It always does scare me, to be fair, because I'm climbing Scafell Pike again in a couple of weeks, which is the tallest mountain in the UK, and that's my biggest fear is needing the toilet halfway up the top.
Yeah, I think
because-
you'd have to go before, make sure. I mean,
Well, you go before, but remember, it's 4-hour hike up to the top, 4-hour hike back down. You know, if the call
All
of nature
day,
could come at
yeah.
any time, you know. So
I mean, he should have just gone into the house rather than getting the police called and then getting fired from his job.
I was the same at Umrah. I'm thinking, say if I need a toilet in the middle of it, and it's hard because some people. I'm not saying I did, but sometimes you think, say if I do get caught short and you're in the middle of doing the dwarf and
you'd have to
doing
start
Safa Marwa. Well, apparently in Safa Marwa you could go because it's not part of the mosque.
right, okay.
But when you're doing the dwarf, then it's got to be. You got to start all over again.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
you would. Yeah, you
You know,
would.
so yeah, they know people with medical conditions.
Yeah.
So there's things that you have to bear in mind when you do go. Sister Nasim is listening, even though she's just got up. I'm listening. I just woke up late. Alhamdulillah, won a prize. Jazakallah khair. She goes, and she'll be. Well, I've got a phone number. We'll call her later on and get
Yeah.
some of the details. So well done, Sister Nasim.
And she's very lucky. It's actually a really good hamper.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Maybe we could swap. One day she might make us breakfast. Bring us breakfast at one Sunday morning.
Maybe each of our listeners could do that each Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I doubt that very much. Apple's set to release its new 5G iPhone 12.
Will you be getting that?
I doubt it. You know what I'm going to do? I haven't had a deal. I'll tell you what's been happening in my household. Since my son makes more money than me, and he's always up with the best devices
Best
first.
gear, yeah.
He buys the iPhone 12.
Right, okay.
And this is what's been happening behind my back. He's been giving his seconds to my wife.
Okay.
So she gets a free upgrade every year.
Yeah.
Every year she's got, look at my new phone. Yeah, all these la-di-da-di. And there's me. I've still got the old iPhone 7. I'm 8, 9. I'm nearly 4 generations behind.
Wow, you need to.
So this year I'm hoping if he gets a 12,
You can have his
I'll get his 11.
11. Yeah, yeah, that's
But
good.
looking at the size of them,
They are
it's like an
massive compared
iPad,
to
isn't
your
it?
phone.
Yeah, I think that's why. I mean, I've got an iPhone 8, and purely because of the size. I don't want to go any bigger than that.
I mean, we've all got the same size phone: iPhone 7, iPhone 8, all the same size.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason why I haven't changed is because they've got too big, in my opinion. However, what I have heard is that when the iPhone 12 comes out, there's going to be numerous iterations of the phone. So there'll be like a larger version, a medium version, and a small version. So your wish might come true. They might be making a smaller one, but we'll find out in September. I think it comes out then, doesn't it?
Yeah,
12.
brilliant. Sorry, Aris, I know you're dying to get on air. I've got a quick. I think Shabazz will like this one. Virgin Galactic reveals supersonic jet design capable of flying from London to New York in just 90 minutes.
Wow.
That will be developed in partnership with Rolls-Royce. Virgin Galactic released the first concept images of its supersonic passenger jet. It would travel at speeds of Mach 3, 3 times faster than the speed of sound, at altitudes above 60,000 feet, and listen to this, at 2,300 miles per hour.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's mad, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
The cabin is customized to fit customers' needs like business and first class passengers. So yeah, can you imagine doing that in 90 minutes?
I think, to be fair, we're not too far away from that, Khalid, because Virgin Galactic, they were going to be at the forefront of taking people to space. If you remember, they were going to do. I think you could pay a lump sum of money and you get to right to the top of the space where you can see the curvature of the Earth. So maybe this is their next venture, and they've got the technology to do it.
Yeah.
So would you go on that flight, Carl?
If I could afford it, I would, but
I mean, it'll
for
be
some
very
reason...
expensive.
It sounds like your son can afford it, so maybe he'll treat you to...
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you know.
Do you reckon?
90 minutes is good, though, isn't
He'll
it?
treat his mum before he treats me. Go on, Aris.
Well, driver 13 hits 5 pedestrians and blames his gran. A 13-year-old driver, yes, 13 years old, that's my age, who crashed into 5 people on Memphis Street, said his grandmother was giving him driving lessons at the time. I didn't want to, but I had no choice. So she told me to sit on her lap, and I did, he said. His grandmother, Ernestine Holloman, faces a series of charges, including driving under the influence and child endangerment. So his grandma forced him to sit on her lap and try drive.
Wow. So have you tried driving yet, Aris?
No, I haven't.
You know, when I was your age, and I can say this on air, but I used to reverse my mum's car in and out the drive.
You did?
Yeah, I had that much. Before we used to go to Drabnia, I'd ask my mum when I was 13. She used to have a Vauxhall Nova back then. Can I reverse your car? And she'd let me reverse it, turn it around, and reverse it back. Yeah, and I did that every day just before Drabnia. So I had a passion for driving when I was a kid. So yeah,
Wow.
Fair play.
Anybody got 50p in their pocket?
I haven't.
No.
Unfortunately. Why?
Coining it in. Do you like that? Coining it in.
Okay.
Rare Johnson's Dictionary 50p coin sells on eBay for guess how much?
50p.
£2,800.
Wow.
And here's how to spot one. A rare Samuel Johnson's Dictionary 50p coin sold more than 5,000 times its face value. It's one of the batch of coins that entered into circulation back in 2005 to mark 250 years of the Scholar's Dictionary. On the back of the coin are snippets from the dictionary entries for the words 50 and pence, and the front is dated 2005.
Wow.
My granddad probably used to have one of that. He used to collect loads of coins, and we went through them, and he had loads and loads of different currencies.
Well, keep looking. Look at it. Trust me, £2,800. Even if you had a few of them, you'd make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice little memento, though. You think you should keep those? Don't ever get rid
Yeah,
of those.
yeah, we
'cause,
did.
awesome.
TripAdvisor reveals the best experiences for 2020. So, where do you think in the world the best experience will be?
The best experience.
Yeah, TripAdvisor.
Um,
And it's a country that me, you, and I think Aris has been to.
I would say, Turkey's been pretty good of late, if
Yeah.
I'm honest with you, but maybe Florida.
Okay. TripAdvisor reveals the best experience for 2020 is the Dubai Desert Barbecue and Camel Ride. Takes the global #1 spot with £18 ago Harry Potter top tour in the UK coming second.
I was actually going to say Dubai.
Yeah.
Wow. So the desert safari trip in Dubai is the best.
It's the best, and I only went on it again this year.
Did you?
I did just before lockdown.
So I remember that it wasn't the most expensive thing to do. However, I thought it was one of the best things to do. If
Yeah,
make, 'cause
you
take-
get loads of things. You get camel ride.
yeah.
You get surfing on the sand. You get
Well, you get driving over the sand dunes in the jeep.
dunes, and then you get a belly dancer dancing, and you get all the
Food.
food. Tattoos, henna.
And what I remember was when we'd done all of that,
Yeah.
the food and the surfing down the sand dunes, I just remember the main leader was saying, right, we're going to switch off the lights so you can enjoy the moon. I just thought it was quite hilarious. But yeah, it's amazing looking at the sky in the desert. It's a
Good
so-
experience,
so
isn't
clear,
it?
yeah, so
Very good experience. Anyway, there's going to be no Aries next week.
No, there's Aris. What's happening, Aris? Are
Well,
you
I'm going on holiday.
you going on holiday?
Yeah, to Bournemouth.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. Bournemouth
Yeah,
is
it's
supposed to be a really
amazing.
good, really
Yeah,
good place.
it's good. I got a beach view, indoor heated pool, outdoor heating pool, everything.
I've heard
Listen, you don't need to sell it, okay?
No, I went to Bournemouth many years ago, and I remember having a really, really good time. Are you going with your family or
Yeah,
your
I'm
friends?
going with my
or
family.
He's even been shopping as well for clothes for Bournemouth.
for Bournemouth? Have you really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
so
got some t-shirts.
I'm
and stuff.
hoping now that the weather is really nice for him,
I hope
because
so.
I know next week it's going to be really bad.
How long are you going for, Aris?
I'm going for 3 days.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Looking
we
forward to it.
hope you have a great. And
Thank you.
are you going to listen into the show?
Yes, of course I am.
And will you phone in as well?
Yes, I'll phone in and listen live.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you are. See, well, we're going to test you on
All
that.
right, all right.
You'll probably be in the middle of the Bournemouth Sea.
Yeah.
you know.
So Aris is going to ring us from his heated pool, isn't he, while he's
Yeah.
looking at the beach? But no, enjoy it,
Excellent.
mate. Enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
So next up, we've got the legal show with Ajar Saab, and he's back.
Is he back? No repeat show
No
today?
repeat show. He's back. I'm
Okay.
hoping he's back. So he'll be on next, and loads of shows during the week as well here on RamadanRadioWolves.com. Don't forget, if you like the show, please do tell others. If you dislike the show, tell our station manager Alvina, and she'll give me a good rollicking.
Absolutely.
Maybe especially after today's show, some of the items that we've covered.
No, I've enjoyed today's show. It's been quite
Yeah,
fun.
been good show today.
Yeah, excellent. What are you doing this week, apart from Mari's?
But we know what Ara's doing, so just busy working, and again looking forward to my break in the Lake District. I need to buy a few more bits and bobs,
Yeah.
my son started jiu-jitsu back up again, so busy.
Busy being a parent. Once again, thank you very much for listening to us on Ramadan Radio Wolves. You could catch us back next Sunday, where we've got a special feature for the listeners, especially regarding charity
That's
as
right.
well.
We've got a special guest appearance from Manavar Hussain, so no pressure, Manny, if you're
Yeah,
listening.
they're replacing me.
Yeah.
We're not replacing
for
you.
long.
No, we're not replacing you.
Until next time, take care. Bye bye.